1977 this time, and we love a good instrumental around here. And sometimes, while lyrics and singers and vocalists, you like to hear what they have to say over certain songs. Certain songs, the beat is the thing. You just want to hear the instrumental. You want to pick out the bass. You want to pick out the guitar. You want to figure out which string or horn that is. And sometimes you just want to groove and just listen to the music. And Confunction blessed us with such a track on their 1977 Secrets album called Indian Summer Love. Now, to give a little backstory, this is the first Confunction album that features Skip Scarborough as executive producer. Skip, of course, had worked previously with Earth, Wind, and Fire, LTD. He had written Don't Ask My Neighbors for the Emotions that same year. So Skip was one of those ones. He passed away from cancer in 2003, which is a reminder, folks. Cancer sucks. Black men, we got to get these screens popping so we can, stay cancer free. And if it's early detection, get it all out as much as you can, because cancer sucks, period. Back to the music, though. Skip gave Confunction a brand new sound. Their self-titled debut on Mercury didn't really go anywhere because, in words of Michael Cooper on their 2012 Unsung episode, he said there was just a lot of just get something out because we were signed to a major label. Let's just put an album out, and you don't get a hit that way. So they enlisted Skip, and the Secrets album, of course, took off thanks to Ffun. That's two F's, F-F-U-N. And the B-side to that is Indian Summer Love, which was the instrumental, which was written by Cedric Martin, the bassist of the group, and Skip co-wrote. Skip and Felton Pilot wrote and arranged the synth. Cedric and the rest of the band arranged all the other stuff. One thing that I've noticed about, becoming a music nerd is that you really become curious about a lot of different things. And I was like, yo, what the hell does an arranger do? So, I went back and researched. It was like, okay, so an arranger just sort of, spices things up, puts the final touches on things. So there was a lot of final touches going on the on the Confunction albums because there were seven band members, and of course Skip, helping out on production. So Indian Summer Love, we can't call it Indian Summer Love in 2024, but that's what they called it in 1977. Indian Summer basically means that summer sticks around a little longer than normally anticipated. And I guess the group titled this instrumental Indian Summer Love, or Cedric wrote it and called it Indian Summer Love because maybe the song just made them want to stick around in the studio a little while longer. I don't know. But it's a very fun, breezy, I'll tell you why I said that in a minute, track that just glides. Like, it's on my summer walking playlist. I have a playlist for songs that I use for my summer evening walks. I'll put the link to that in the description below if you guys want to check that out, even though summer's just about finished. But you can still get some good use out of that playlist, regardless of what season it is. But I just usually save it for the summer. But Indian Summer Love, it's very laid back, it's very chill, but it still has a swing to it. Like, that's the late Louis McCall's, drum pattern, Coop and Felton Pilot, doing their thing on the guitars, and Danny Thomas on the synths. And it's a beautiful, chill record that you can either use to sit on the porch and relax, go for a walk like I do, or go for a drive. And it just, I guess if you call it the bridge or the chorus, like, it just really just sticks out in a way that few instrumentals do for me, because like, you could tell that there was maybe there was supposed to be lyrics there, but the band was just like, nah, we just gonna let this ride. So it's like, yeah. It's literally one of the most chill tracks you can imagine, but it's chill in a way that isn't lazy. It's chill in a way that it hypes your mood up. It lifts your spirits. It excites you, but it doesn't overexcite you. And these are the type of songs that every band used to have to play, because bands will tell you they had their rock, their jam songs for the dance floor, their girl songs or their romance songs. And of course, every band, hook or crook, had an instrumental of some kind just to show that they could play. And I think that's dope, because you can literally, and there's nothing wrong with being a band with singers in it. Obviously, you still got to have somebody to carry the message of what someone has written. over your nice instrumental. But the instrumental part of musicianship, is one of my favorite parts. And to know that bands in the 70s felt the same way, like you literally had to be able to hold your instruments, if you will, be able to, kill on stage, not just in the studio, but on stage, because that's where the money was made. That's where the money's always been made in music. Like, yeah, you can go in the studio, put out an album. It might do good, but people want to go and see you play and sing and rap and do all the other stuff live. And if you put on a good show, ching, ching, hallelujah. Shouts out to Reverend Motown. And I am Deacon Def Jam. Shouts out to Tommy and Steve Harvey for that the JPJ, the Jackpot Joint in Jerusalem. Still one of my favorite skits on that show. But yes, if you can perform in person and you constantly put on a good show, you'll never go broke and you'll never be out of work. That's why a lot of these old bands and groups are still touring today, because they still like to get out there and move. And Confunction is still touring as far as I know, with a few of the original members. You still got Coop. You still have Felton Pilot. I think Cedric, not Cedric, Carl Fuller. I think Carl Fuller is still playing trumpet with them. I could be wrong. But you have the guys who were out in front that were Confunction that everyone saw first, Coop and Felton, that are still performing today. But yes, Indian Summer Love, just one of those beautiful, breezy little tracks that if you just want to listen to something, whether you're cleaning up your house, cooking in the kitchen, going for a walk, going for a nice little drive on a nice summer night or summer weekend day, it's a perfect song. Like, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend a lot of Confunction stuff. I need to do a full Confunction episode, honestly. And it is my dream, and I will put it out there, to have either Coop or Felton, Michael Cooper or Felton Pilot, on this channel at some point. Oh, that would be great. From my lips to God's ears. Hopefully we can make that work. So if anybody knows of Michael Vernon Cooper or Felton C. Pilot II, not to put their full names on blast like that, but if Coop and Felton, if anybody knows them, tell them that a fan wants to interview them for his YouTube channel, and he would be eternally grateful.